Hello. This is Mukunda Mark from, I don't know why I'm saying that. We're at Integral Yoga. And I've got Dylan Bodie, who's transferring on the other side. And I've got Shiva Das Stephen. And we're doing the reading from The Golden Present. Daily Inspirational Readings by Sri Swami Satchidananda. This is the second to last video, I believe.
Sad.
Yeah. I'm actually happy. I mean, it's been a great journey, but I'm actually... This is for December 19th, and the topic is, how do you know that you have not seen him? So it's a question and answer format, and we'll just start with you and then go kind of round and round.
Question. I have a growing desire to see God.
Mm.
It has become the thing I want most.
Mm.
But no matter how much I long for him, my worldly duties and needs get in the way. Can you help me? Keep going.
No, and then look at each paragraph. Swami Satchidananda has this to say. How do you know that you have not seen him? I heard him saying, I have been in front of this person so many times, but he never even recognized me. He was calling for me. So I went there many times, stood right in front of him, and he didn't even bother to look at me. He just brushed me aside and kept on saying, God, where are you? Where are you?
A long paragraph.
You can read half.
Before you look for God, you should know what he looks like, or at least what God is. God has no particular form, but he appears in all forms and names. It is with his consciousness that I am saying all these things, and with his consciousness you are listening. To simplify it, we say that God is all consciousness, superconsciousness, cosmic consciousness, or peace. God is already there in you as peace, but you disturb your peace by searching for God. Mm-hmm. So stop searching and disturbing your peace, and you'll experience God. A disturbed mind can never understand God. Looking for God is not our first and foremost duty. Our first and foremost duty is to take care not to let the mind lose its peace. You don't have to make the mind peaceful. If you leave it alone, it is peaceful. In our own lives, we should see that we don't lose our peace due to our thoughts, words, actions.
Learn to remain undisturbed, unshakable, as steady as the rock of Gibraltar. You should treasure the peace of your mind so much that nothing would shake you. You should be ready to renounce anything and everything that is going to disturb your peace. Name, fame, money, power, position, relatives, friends, all should be secondary to maintaining your peace. Everything else is nothing compared to peace of mind. With that peace, you will easily see God.
Wow. Whoa.
Oops.
Oh, that's okay. Wait, where is it? There it is. How do you not seen him? Well, right away, I just like to point out how I appreciate this idea that he has no form, that we feel like everybody has to subscribe to the same idea of what God is, but that God, and then he broke it down in this way. He's consciousness, super consciousness, or cosmic consciousness, super consciousness, or peace. That's helpful. He's already in you as peace, so we don't have to find him. I've heard this before too, like you get, the seeking for God, and the seeking itself is a distraction. And that was interesting because I thought, well, that's what I thought we're all doing as yogis. But then it's like the seeking itself can actually be a distraction because it's already there. So then what are we doing? What are we doing? We are working to know the true self because somehow it gets covered up. Well, I think, right? We get distracted and other things become important and we think if we just get this thing. But part of it, I don't know, I think sometimes it's helpful. Like buying the right bed,
Helps you have better peace.
Yeah,
right.
It does.
Sleep better. I guess if God is in you, right, And you are created in the image and likeness of God.
Mhm.
And is that not what you see every day when you look in the mirror? You see God. Or every time you look at someone else.
But when you see God, then is that the God I'm supposed to see?
No, God is in all forms.
See, that's important,
So-
right?
I guess.
Well, if you can think that way, rather than if you look at yourself and you say, I see God. But then if you say, well, somebody else sees in the mirror, they don't get to see God. Like certain people in power, are they seeing God when they look in the mirror too?
Yeah.
What's God?
God has no particular form. He appears in all forms and names.
And who's to...
But he does say before you look for God, you should know what he looks like, or at least what God is. So that's interesting, because he says, well, what does he look like? Well, he has no form.
Right.
Yeah. Well, here's another key. A disturbed mind can never understand God. So that's why it turns it back to, rather than worrying about it, is focus on your peace. When you have your peace, your mind is no longer disturbed by the outside actions and thinking, what are the fruits of all my actions? You just start to land in that place of peace, and that, as it is said, that's what is God. And then if you're looking at yourself from that place of peace, that
Sure.
seems...
Can't anger be God? And spite and joy and sadness, aren't they all God? Is only peace God?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think those are, because you have to, are there everything is God, for one thing. I guess we can say that. That's often said in the readings. But are some of them like everything is the ocean, but there are ripples in the ocean? There are crashing waves in the ocean. There's the calm surface of the ocean. And they all are part of the same thing. And they seem to it all is required to be part of the ocean. But it's only, and at least with the mind, it's with a clear mind, an undisturbed mind, that maybe it's like that bowl of water with the dyes that get put in. We were shown in Raja Yoga, and so there's a crystal. So I'll just describe it. There's this beautiful crystal. You put it in a bowl of water, clean water, and that's the mind. And then the crystal is the pure self, right? But the mind can get colored. You add all these food colorings, and then the water becomes black, and you can't see the crystal. You think there's no more self, but it's still there. It's just colored. So it's not that those are bad or there's anything wrong with them or that they're separate. It's all part of it, but sometimes they can create misunderstanding or lack of clarity, and we just have to work our way out to understand what's really the constant. And I don't think anger is a constant. I don't think even joy or happiness is a constant. I think peace is the constant.
Clarity. Maybe not. I don't know.
Can you be peacefully angry?
I think what I think you can be is you can have, your peace is always there. So you can be a peaceful person who happens to be angry in a particular moment. Or you have a person who has a peaceful nature that gets angry. Like I bet the Dalai Lama or Gandhi got angry. Martin Luther King, but they got a little angry at times. But the other two,
You can acknowledge that it's just anger.
It's just
and
anger.
It will pass.
yes,
And
the
just
peace
kind of
the
see
peace
it.
isn't going to pass, and then you don't have that anymore. The anger will pass, and it's there for a reason. I think it came to add a little fire for some of the alchemy to happen. But ultimately, that peace is what's always the constant. It's the crystal. And without those other things and disturbances, that whatever those things are, fluctuations of the mind, we might not really fully understand who and what we are. I don't know. That's what I got.
I think I got that you do see God all the time. It's just, I don't know, noticing what's in your way. sort of, it's like lifting the shades to the window.
Mm.
You know,
Mhm.
it's just you get so busy and wrapped up in like your day to day.
You might forget to lift the shades.
You might forget to lift the
Forever
shades.
shady.
Right, but it's all around.
Don't be shady
There's beauty in
unless you need to be.
all around you.
Okay.
Okay.
On that note,
One more day.
thank you for being a part of this, and thank you, gentlemen, for
Yeah.
sharing this. This is, no,
Oh.
this is it's
He's
I'm
amazing.
grateful. All right, thanks for watching. Till tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.